We're joined with Sgt Stefan Martin as part of our regular monthly slot with the local police force here at the Monday Night Community Show. Welcome back to the show, Steph.
Hello Daniel.
What have you been up to, the Neighbourhood Island team, since we last spoke to you?
Well, since we spoke in December, the team have been very busy. We're dealing with the priorities that are set by the communities of the Isle of Sheppey. Certainly in Queenborough, PC Ant Hopper and PCSO Barry Chase, they've been making progress with the antisocial behaviour. One lad was arrested. He was part of a group who'd been abusive to diners in a restaurant, basically affecting their quality of life. We arrested the person described to us, and eventually he was bailed with a curfew from 8 o'clock in the evening, prevented from being in a group over 3 people and not allowed into Railway Terrace. At some point he's likely to receive a reprimand for the offence that he's committed. We're looking at longer term restrictions on the lives of anyone who continues to be involved in antisocial behaviour in that area. The co-op is now using the Shop Safe radio scheme, and staff have fed back to us that antisocial behaviour incidents are less frequent of late. In Eastchurch and Minster, nuisance vehicles were identified to us as a problem, and we've got PCSO Rob Holmes and Kyle Bryson, and recently they gave 2 warnings out to riders breaching this legislation. They were both given warnings and risk having their bikes seized if they do this again in the next 12 months. We have a few projects running at the moment and up and coming. Certainly in Marine Town, Eastchurch, Laysdown and Warden. I'll go on and touch on those in a moment. Also Minster, we've been looking at the speeding issue on Scockles Road. We'll be carrying out speed checks to enforce the 30 miles per hour limit. If you're caught, then expect a £60 fine and 3 points on your licence, or even being summoned to court.
We are joined with Sgt Steph Martin here at the Monday Night Community Show. We're joined with Sgt Steph Martin here at the Monday Night Community Show. You mentioned speeding. Is there any way people can report problem areas straight to you?
Yes, there is. We have an email address specifically for that purpose. If you want to report speeding or drink drivers directly to the Island Neighbourhood team, then email us at sheppey.speeders@kent.pnn.police.uk. That's Sheppey, SHEPPEY, speeders, SPEEDERS, at kent.pnn.police.uk.
What exactly are you doing about speeding across the island, Steph?
Well, when I arrived on the team, I ensured that all my officers received training in the speed detection device. This puts them in a position where we can go to any area at any time to deal with the issues. We've run and will be running more operations across the island where the communities tell us there is a problem and where crash site data indicates we should be. We've also prevented most speeding offences in the second week of January by introducing snow, but I don't think that's going to catch on.
We are joined with Steph Martin here at BRFM. We're joined with Sgt Steph Martin as part of our monthly slot here at the Monday Night Community Show with the local police force. Steph, how did you get on in the snow?
Well, we spent a lot of time trying to dig drivers out in the Eastchurch and Laysdown area. The local council worked well to try and keep the main roads gritted, but with the drifts from the fields it became impassable at times, with even diggers and tractors finding it hard. The Island Neighbourhood team and Tesco, Sheerness, both put some funding towards essential items such as milk, bread, tea and soup. And we visited 182 addresses in Rushendon, Queenborough, Halfway, Minster, Warden, Laysdown and Sheerness. We reached the most vulnerable people in our communities who are at risk in the weather, and we made sure that they had heating and gave them any supplies that they needed to get them through the cold spell. We even collected prescription medication for a lady who was too frightened to go out in the snow. We've just basically done our best to be there for the people who need us most. I also want to praise those who asked us for identification. We want people to make sure that their relatives who could be approached by any bogus tradesman always ask for identification.
Are there any particular messages you would like to give out about bogus tradesmen?
There are companies who are active in Kent who are calling people and saying that they're working with the police and local authority. They'll try and give away free alarms, but these are of poor quality, and they'll try to get money from you for maintenance. One particular one to avoid is SAS Security, who are claiming to be working with Crime Research UK. As far as we know, this doesn't exist. If you're contacted about any work or products for you or your property and you think you need them, always say no initially and then make inquiries yourself. Most reputable companies will make an appointment to see you, they'll have identification and you can call their company back to check them out. Also, alternatively, you could ask your local council about the handy van scheme, as this can help with home security.
We are joined with Sgt Stefan Martin here at the Monday Night Community Show this evening. We're joined with Sgt Stefan Martin here at the Monday Night Community Show. Now, Steph, you mentioned some projects that the team are going to be involved in. Can you tell us more about them?
Well, PC Gavin Scales is the beat officer for Sheerness East and West. Gavin and other members from our team will be working with the Community Safety Unit and Swale Borough Council. We'll be visiting a number of houses in the Marine Town area and offering them smart water kits. These are kits that prove a person's presence at a crime scene or where an item of property has come from. If that property is stolen and we find someone in possession of it, we'd be able to identify where it came from. Each pot of smart water has its own DNA code, and there are over 1 billion different codes. If you're arrested in Swale and taken into custody, our custody suites are fitted with detectors for smart water. If you have any traces of smart water on you, we'll prove where you've been. The amount of burglaries in Kent is extremely low, but anything we can do to reduce the figures even more will be done. Also, we have a cycle marking initiative being planned by PC Keith Johnson in the Laysdown and Warden area. Keith will be publishing details in the local paper and outside of the Laysdown police offices with the dates of this. This will be free, and we'll work with the local authority to make sure it happens. If you don't need your cycle marked, please come down and see us and just have a chat. We're going to take these opportunities to find out exactly what concerns you have in the community, and then we'll do our best to deal with them.
Do you have any useful contact details that our listeners can find out any more information about what you've talked about this evening?
Well, if you want details of where we're going to be to answer your questions and concern, then please have a look at the Kent Police website. You'll find all our details here too. I'll be back in late February to give you an update of what's going on and what we've been up to.
Steph, I'd like to thank you very much for speaking to us this evening.
No problem, Daniel.
And we'll see you next month.
Thank you.